James Gunn teases how Creature Commandos kicks off his new DC universe. So this is an interesting article because we know Creature Commandos is going to kick off the DCU at the end of this year. Sure, it's not the first movie. The first movie we know is going to be Superman in July. That's fun. That's exciting. We're all excited about that. But it's not even so much how he talks about Creature Commandos being the thing that kicks it off. What is exciting about this is how he talks about the DCU in general and what his expectations are from the filmmakers within the DCU. I encourage people to go check out this article. It's not very long, but I want to talk about this one specific point in the article. And it's right here. He says, the thing I've always loved about DC Comics was that you had your mainstream comics that always ran, but they also had these tonally different comics like Watchmen and The Dark Knight Returns and All-Star Superman. It was different from Marvel in that way. That's something that I really want to retain within the studio, that every project is going to bring a different vision by the artists who are creating them. That is something that is a beautiful thing to hear when you look at the DCU, because there are so many people who sit there and whine and cry and are so worried about James Gunn heading the DCU. Oh, you're just going to get dick and fart jokes. You're just going to get his crude humor. You're just going to get what he does all the time. But in the grand scheme of things, this is something that he alluded to and he said over on Michael Rosenbaum's podcast. I would think it was last year at some point. He was saying something along these lines that he wants the filmmakers, the artists, the writers, the directors to put their stamp on the films they are making for the DCU. And that is a very important thing that's going to differentiate the DCU from the MCU. It's going to differentiate the DCU from the DCEU. And that's exciting. That is something that is different than what we've seen before. And that is going to shut a lot of people up. And that is what is really exciting, because it's not going to be like what we've seen in the past. A lot of people think it's going to be just like what we've seen in the past, but it's not, because think about this. Sure, we got Creature Commandos, which was written by James Gunn and created by James Gunn. We got Superman and Peacemaker, all part of James Gunn's vision. But that's starting off the DCU. That's kind of setting the stage for the DCU. And that's fine. But once we start getting into these other projects, these other things, the Wallers, the Batmans, the Swamp Things, the Green Lanterns, these are all going to start showcasing all of these other filmmakers, all of these other creators, and what they can bring to the DCU. And it's going to expand this universe in ways that we've never seen a universe like this, specifically because we've only ever seen one successful one, the MCU, but we're going to see it expanded in a way that we've never seen before. And James Gunn and Peter Safran want to allow these filmmakers the freedom to express themselves through these films. And that's exciting. That's something that we should all get behind and get excited about. Now, there is a little area to be worried, because if you take a look at something like what happened recently over at Lucasfilm with Star Wars, and you take a look at what happened with The Acolyte, that was a show that was very much a filmmaker, a creator, Leslie Headland, who expressed herself, wanted to put this project, this was all her brainchild, absolutely had Dave Filoni's help and everything like that, and it failed miserably. It caused a huge divide. There's a huge problem with the fandom right now because of that show. So there needs to be some reining in. There absolutely needs to be some reining in, unlike what happened at Lucasfilm. So hopefully James Gunn understands that and Peter Safran understands that. I think it's going to be great what he does with this and how he talks about how he wants these filmmakers to have complete control with things and really put their creative touch on these films and these projects is phenomenal. I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great way to handle things moving forward, for sure.